So welcome back to the channel. So a really quick video of what to do when you actually get a flat. As you might already know, I really do hate getting flats, especially on an e-bike that weighs almost 100 pounds. So that's why I always recommend that besides having a tannous liner or a regular liner, that you put some slime or FlatOut in your inner tube. Having some slime or FlatOut will allow you to continue on in your journey. And it will allow you, once you get to your destination, to either fix your inner tube or replace it altogether. Getting a flat on the road is not a matter of if, but when. Recently, I got a screw stuck in my back tire. Thankfully, I had FlatOut in my inner tube, and it allowed me to continue on my journey to work. So when you actually get something stuck on your back tire, the thing to do is just to pull it out. When you pull it out, make sure that the hole is actually facing the ground. That'll allow for all the liquid under pressure to seal your tube, because that's how FlatOut works. Once plugged, pump up your tire again to recommended settings, and you could continue on riding it. So many people just go on their day without thinking about it and never replace the tube. And it may work for a little bit, but there is something that happens to your inner tube once it's damaged by a screw, a nail, or glass, and FlatOut actually gets to plug it. The thing is that, yeah, it holds air, but there's something that happens to it too. It's not completely fixed. I've noticed that my tire, it weeps a lot. So I would park my bicycle, and when I would move my wheel, I would always find a little wet spot where my tire was just resting. So what I decided to do is to just change my entire tube. And then change my tube, I might as well just change the whole entire tire to my Shinkos. The problem with the Shinkos, as you might know from previous videos, is that it interferes with your maximum speed. Because of the knobby tire, it makes you go slower, as in like 2 miles an hour slower than you used to before. So if you want to sacrifice speed for a better ride, yeah, the Shinkos tire is the way to go. So changing the tire on the new bike was not too hard, although you have to unscrew the lid on where they have the controller and all the wiring, because the motor wire is not on the outside and it cannot be easily disconnected. You have to go through the little compartment on the bottom, which creates a lot of steps, which normally you don't have with other bikes. So when I disconnected my motor, yeah, it's not pretty. You have to pull out all the wires, because the main wire that you want to disconnect is all the way in the back. So you have to pull everything out. That's the hard part. Everything else is standard. It's the same as any other hub motor bike. Just make sure you put everything in order the way that it was when you pull it out. If you can't remember, take pictures before you start, so you know which washer, which little screw goes where. That way, when you put it back together, it'll be perfect. I don't know if you'll ever get a blowout, but you probably could, since the tube is already damaged. And you're not going at regular speeds like your old school bicycle. You're actually hitting 30 miles an hour, and some of you are hitting more than that. So I would recommend that you do change your inner tube. Even if it was plugged by FlatOut or slime, I think it'll be best and safer if you just change your inner tube when you get the chance. So I hope this video helped anyone, and as always, ride safely.